Hi, Renee Flamond here. I want to extend on this a little bit so that we can help people that maybe if you did get involved with financial dealings with your narcissist, we can help them not feel so bad about it. If you watch the required viewing that I mentioned a couple of videos back on, I think I said Hamlish. I think his name, it's Hamish McLaren, the man that swindled women out of $70 million. These women in this special are bright women. There's nothing wrong with these women. They were targeted. If you were targeted and you know, after my last video saying don't do it, if you have entered into financial dealings with your narcissist, please don't sweat it and fret it and think, oh my God, I must have been an idiot. Absolutely not. I've known very bright women that became financially involved in their narcissist. These women on this special, there's nothing wrong with these women. These narcissists are cunning and they promise you the world. I don't know what made me so tough as to not give an inch in that regard. Probably my mother, my father. I mean, I have some tough examples of valuing yourself, and I just felt it in my bones that that narcissist that I was involved with was untrustworthy in every way. Now, what's funny to me is that even though I felt that, I proceeded to have a relationship with him. And I knew he was untrustworthy in that regard as well. So if you're feeling, damn, I missed that one. That was not the brightest move. It wasn't the brightest move for me either. I knew from date one that 18 red flags that he didn't have of a list of things that I wanted in a person, he didn't have. And I dated him anyway. Why? What's wrong with us sometimes? Doesn't mean we have to be hard on ourselves forever. And you can start to maybe try to turn that around, even financially. No way, Renee, I'm stuck in this. Okay, well then you need to make the best of whatever's happening to your life at this time. When it hit me that how insidious it can be is when my narcissist had me on the phone post-breakup and he's talking about his new supply. And I mentioned this once before. Oh, he was going to have her sign. Oh, it was like acting like he was stuck there with this person now in a relationship because she was going to sign for a loan with him that he needed for something. $25,000 loan. Now, you're going to say, did you try to help this girl? I tried everything to help this girl. I don't know the girl. Hours away he is. They live hours away. He lives hours away. She lives hours away. I don't know her. Nothing. But I kept saying, trying to help as a friend, her. I kept sending him texts. This was months ago. And I would say, don't do this to this girl. Unless you are absolutely in love with this girl, which we know that's not true, and unless you absolutely think you're marrying this girl, do not do this to this girl. How can you be so insidious? Now, he's not my boyfriend anymore. I got no problem calling him out on that behavior. And I said, how could you do that? I said, are you some kind of gigolo? I said, are you a hooker? That's what I asked him. Right out. That's when I started to get like a little disgusted. You're calling me to try to tell me you love me, can't wait to see me again, miss me, you're going to marry me, we're going to live in two places, I'm going to buy a house and put it in your name, you're going to have a key, you're going to decorate, we're going to... And in the same phone call, you're telling me that you're stuck to this girl because she's decided she's going to sign a loan for you that you need for something. How impossibly carnivorous is that? That you're going to flat out even admit that you're preying on someone. If you have somebody in your life right now that is coming at you from that perspective, look at it again. Look at it again. All I thought of was this poor girl. Grown woman, 40s, not a girl, but poor thing. And all I could think of was, money was never an issue. I was never going to get swindled by this guy in terms of money. So he knew that. Other than casually mentioning once about maybe like combining my house to buy a bigger house and mentioning my credit score once. Other than those two things, which I shot down right away, and I explained in my last video, I was like, oh, hell no, I'm never selling this house. That's never going to happen. What do you mean? And we... Stop. Dead subject, gone, next subject. I was not bendable on these subjects. This girl apparently is. So if that's you and you have somebody new in your life and they're going, oh, I got this big, because I know exactly what he's saying to her. I got this big deal. I got this windfall coming, and I'll pay you back $35,000. Are you kidding me? Or I got shares in this company, and I'll give you... It's all malarkey. This poor girl has no idea it's malarkey. You want to sign something with somebody that you're dating? You want to take a loan out with somebody that you're dating? You want to co-buy anything with someone that you're dating? Hells no. The only time I ever co-bought anything with anyone, I was married. And married. The wedding had happened. Then we signed. You know what I'm saying? I am sorry. It is a dangerous slope, my friends. And you might say, well, what do you mean? Maybe I don't want to get married again. Maybe I can't get married again, but I want to buy something with somebody. You're in a healthy relationship. You're doing something together. You know the guy's healthy. And you vetted him. You vetted him. You know he has worth, stability, his own credit score, his own job. He's self-sustaining. He wants to show you the world. You're falling in love. I'm not saying you can never move forward with people and do things like that. But my God, please keep an eye on the fact of what he's coming at you with. This girl is saying yes to signing to a loan, supposedly. Now, I haven't talked to him in months. I don't know what ended up happening. Signing yes to a loan to a 63-year-old man who just got his own apartment for the first time in years. She met him. He was bouncing around, living in somebody else's condo in a second bedroom, had nothing to his name. And she's saying yes to co-signing to a $25,000 loan to this person. When he ever told me that, I thought of all the other women that they could be in that position and doing the same thing. And nobody stops to think, maybe what he's telling me is a bunch of poo, and none of it's true. I guess this woman really is still in the love bombing phase, and he went right for the jugular. Maybe he pulled out the loan topic so fast during the love bombing that she's saying yes. I don't care what topic he pulled out during love bombing. That was going to be a no. I think he even did bring it out during love bombing, and I woke right up. I said, oh, no. Went back to sleep in the relationship and allowed things to continue. I'm not proud of that. You might say to yourself, well, Renee, you had such a bad feeling with this guy. Why? Why did you? He was entertaining. He was cute. The love bombing was enjoyable. And I convinced myself I was in love. And these women in this special on Hamish McLaren all say I was absolutely head over heels in love. So that's where this girl is now with my ex-narcissist. She thinks she's in love, and she's convincing herself that she's going to co-sign for a $25,000 loan. He will be gone, she will be stuck with it, and it will be a disaster. He wants to come back here, is what he says. That's BS too, you know. They just say that to keep you on the bench. I don't take what he says to be real. But she would be brokenhearted if she knew that that's what he's saying to me. I'm not going to be a bench warmer. I'm no one's bench warmer. So that ended. Once all these things started, I was like, oh my God, the dysfunction is higher than anything I've ever even thought. And how deplorable that you're claiming love to me, and in the same conversation you're talking about, I just got to get this loan from this girl, and then I'll be back. Are you absolutely out of your mind that you think that sounds attractive? So you're a gigolo. You're a hooker. That's what you are. Oh my God, how do you sleep at night? And they sleep fine. They're manipulating the world to get what they want. They sleep fine. My point to you is, if you have entered into financial dealings with your narcissist, you are not alone. And I don't want you to beat yourself up and go, oh, she's right, I'm so, why'd I do that? Don't. Stop. It's done. It's water under the bridge. Go forward and make a different decision next time it comes up. Or try to rectify the decision. Or try to quietly, subtly change the decision. You know, we don't really use the beach house much anymore. Let's sell it. Start putting money away. You know what I mean? There's things you can do. But I don't want anyone to beat themselves up and feel badly about it. These videos are not to make anyone feel badly. These women in this special, bright, beautiful, successful they seemed women. And they all got duped also. That love bombing phase can be very, very, very powerful. And it can suck most people in. It really can. I probably, who knows, maybe would be sucked in by this Hamish McLaren guy. He was better at it. He was smarter. He looked flashier. He seemed to have fancy cars. He seemed successful to these people. Little do they know, they bought the cars that he was driving. They weren't paying attention to their money and where it was going and what he was dipping into and what he was using. He got a loan and then used it for the... It can happen. Please, let's not beat ourselves up. I try not to beat myself up for even being in a relationship and going forth, even having 87 red flags from date one. That's embarrassing. What kind of person am I? 87 red flags, date one. And you don't see it, Renee? You don't say, oh my God, you know what, dude? You're way out of not anything that I want to have happen to me. You're out of the realm of anything I want to have happen to me. I don't want anyone to feel alone. Please don't. And just lighten up on yourself and kind of assess this. Okay, we did this. I did this. Let's move forward. Like if I were talking to his new supply, not that she would ever see this or know that this exists, because I would never tell him that this exists, because I don't want commentary from him or a connection to him in any way. But if she were watching this, I would hope that she would hear, don't feel bad about yourself. It happens. So now you have a $25,000 loan that you've co-signed, and that's the reality of the situation. So, oh well, that's what you have now to deal with. That's your lesson. Your lesson cost you $25,000. Some of these women, their lessons cost them $1 million. It's an expensive lesson. If you can learn it before you put forth anything, great. If not, regard it as a very expensive lesson, and you won't do it again. So please don't be hard on yourselves. Please, because it's not your fault. You were manipulated. They're very, very cunning and very charming. But don't do it again. And don't do it if you haven't done it. Think about it twice. Somebody's promising you something that you don't see evidence of as collateral for something they want to do with you. No. You need to see evidence of how that's going to work itself out. Whenever I bought anything with my husband, I knew that stuff was getting paid for. I knew that it wasn't going to fall on me. I knew it, and I was right. And it's 30 years later, and I'm still right. So you can tell. You have no problem. You can ask questions. You can ask for paperwork. You can ask for proof. You can ask for, I mean, come on. You're entering into a financial thing with this person, and they want you to sign here and not ask any questions about their life? Oh my God, no, that's unacceptable. Please be careful if you haven't done it yet, and please be easy on yourself if you have done it already.